Hey everyone, you're listening to 4Player Podcast, a weekly live show about video games. We hope you'll stick around for another year of gaming discussion, Fantasy Critic hijinks, and of course, general shenanigans here at 4Player. Before we start this episode, we want to send a thank you out to everyone who listens and give a quick welcome to any newbies. I'll try to keep this short because this is, and always will be, an ad-free show. We've been at this since 2008, so if you like what we do, please subscribe and leave a review on your preferred podcast service. Join us in our Discord at discord.gg/4player, or, if you're so inclined, throw us a couple bucks a month on Patreon. We record these episodes live every Tuesday night on twitch.tv/4playerpodcast, all spelled out, and episodes hit podcast services on Friday morning. You can find all the links you need at 4playernetwork.com. But enough about that, let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 822. It's January 14th, 2025. I'm your host, Nick Henderson, joined tonight by Brad Simons.
Yo!
Christopher Guthridge.
Oh, hey Nick. How's it going?
Good, thank you. And Christopher Davis.
I'm doing alright. How about y'all?
I didn't ask how you... Wait, did I ask how you were doing? I'm like in autopilot
you
mode.
didn't, but I thought I'd throw it out there.
It was implied.
Is it though?
I'm
Is
in
it
polite
implied?
company, right?
That's
Nick,
I don't know
Nick's
if that's
very
accurate.
explicit about not giving a shit about how we are.
Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. This is our first what I would call regular show of 2025. I will say this: we are having some conversations in the background about maybe doing something new for our award show, and I think that's probably going to be next week. Mixing things up a little bit and maybe make it a little more fun, I suppose, for us in the moment. So we'll keep y'all apprised of that situation, and I guess you could probably unofficially...
Don't overpromise fun. I don't think anyone's promising fun.
Okay, maybe not fun. Hey, well, all of our shows are fun, right? Fun.
It'll be slightly diverting.
Yeah. There is the distinct possibility you might be entertained.
Yes, that is definitely a pot. Brad's really leaning hard on the...
I mean, I hope that they discover a game that they're excited to try, maybe.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
fun. Come on. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
See.
The point is we're exploring some options for maybe trying a new format or whatever.
Speaking of new
this year.
formats, Nicholas, real quick, I was listening to a podcast, and so at the beginning of the year, they usually do predictions, or a lot of
Right.
podcasts will do predictions for the year, and this was video game predictions, of course. And instead of just competing against who has the best predictions, and at the end of the year you score them up, they come up with the big long list of predictions, and then they draft the predictions to make it more fair. Because it can't be your prediction was too easy and not hard enough. But since they're drafting them, it can be on any team, right? It makes it fair.
Brad is just obsessed with anything that can be turned into a fantasy
everything
league.
has a perceived value,
He's
right?
got
Everything has a perceived
brackets
value.
on the brain.
It's
Brackets
the
on
most
the brain.
fair. It's the most fair.
Speaking of brackets on the brain, guys, if you missed our show last week, we held our annual Fantasy Critic draft, and that kind of serves as our 2025 preview show. You can check it out. It's available on all podcast services. You'll be hearing about that throughout the year, obviously. Also, shout out to all of our community members who are playing Fantasy Critic along with us this year. I think we have 5 leagues this year, which is one more than we did last year, which is great. Each averaging about 5 to 6 players, so that's really cool. It's exciting.
I also did a short stream 2 days ago.
Have you made the video
where
yet?
I kind of broke down I did everything on Twitch, so there's archives there. I did one for the rules, short stream for the rules, and that's been linked to in the Discord, so everyone who's wants clarification on that.
We could
I also
pull
did a
that and
short
upload it to
stream where
YouTube.
I broke. Well, it's not really I don't know if it's that one was not YouTube worthy or anything. I mean, people on chat were asking me questions and stuff, but I also did a video because it was requested. I was going to do it anyways, but people were waiting for me to kind of pick apart the community leagues. So that's on our Twitch archive as well. Look for that. My last stream where I kind of apart. did a little bit of shit talking. Well, the truth is, with 5 players per league, with the exception of one, and the problem is 5 rounds. That's only 25 games drafted. We had a little bit more because we had 7 players, but 5 rounds of games, it seems like a lot, but it's really not that many games. And what happened was that everybody's rosters looked very similar, and they were all pretty good games. And of course, the counter picks were nightmares, right? Because you had the big unreleased games, but then you had the big like kind of sure things that are coming, and so everyone kind of, it was hard to shit talk too many picks because it was all the same shit. Because it wasn't that many games.
What am I even doing here if I can't shit talk?
It was 25 games. It was 25 games. I really regret not going 6.
I gave you so many openings last week to say, okay, we'll do 6. In the moment, we were like, we're doing 5 draft picks tonight, and I was like, we can do 6. We can do 6.
Yeah,
and we went in circles.
It's weird. And then it's weird to change plans mid-draft. It really does kind of make things a little bit
weird,
unfair.
but it's possible. It could have happened. I gave you the opening. You turned me down.
We also cut space for the mid-year stuff, but I mean, I think that part's good. You know, people had a hard time like filling rosters last year, and I always hate to see that.
I was worried it was going to be a little bit harder to fill rosters this year because I feel like we have a lot small. I feel like there's a lot we know about a lot fewer games than I feel like we knew in beginning of 2024. But I might just be imagining that.
It's always like this. The fact that we ended our draft with like bangers, still bangers. You know, it's a lot of good games coming out this year. It's pretty crazy.
And I think it's worth mentioning here just because it's funny as hell. Chris Davis's entire drafted roster was counterpicked.
Fuck all.
Carlos really shouldn't have done that because he was in good shape. I know he had the last counterpick, but
we just all think you should stand by your picks, Chris.
Yeah,
I stand by my picks,
and
then you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
the problem is he gets one fucking super drop, and of course it's going to be an unannounced Ace Combat game. So
no, fuck you. Nuh-uh.
What a fun, wild night. Yeah, if you want to catch up, I mean, it's not a lot to catch up with right now because the year has just started. So now would be the time to do it. Go back and listen to our episode from last week. Like I said, it's on all podcast services at the moment and up on YouTube. So check it out. Tonight, since we're kind of in the interim between the preview show and doing award shows and game of the year stuff, this was going to be just kind of, we're going to talk. We only have one game like impressions wise to talk about, but we've been waiting to talk about it for a while because Brad, you've been playing Slitterhead.
Yeah,
but we also have some big news to talk about.
Slitterhead.
Yeah.
I had a GameFly spot I had to fill, so I'm like, let's get some Slitterhead in.
But we're also going to talk about because apparently it's funny because last week during the draft we were talking about how the I think Brad, you said like the Nintendo Switch 2 could be announced like next week. There's nothing stopping it, you know. And then like Nintendo was at this point it feels like I think it's Thursday. I think is when everyone's kind of expecting shit to happen.
Thursday.
Yep. So it's looking like the Switch 2 is going to be announced on Thursday. That's what. You know, so we'll talk a little bit about that, maybe speculate a little bit. And next Thursday, Xbox is doing their first big developer, what do they call it?
Developer Direct, maybe?
Yeah, Developer Direct next week. And there's one game on that list that is a mystery, but like they're trying to tease it pretty heavily. So we'll
what's
talk
the tease for that?
They're saying they're going to announce a new entry in a legendary Japanese
I
franchise.
thought that's already been figured out. It's just that
legendary Japanese franchise. That is Ace Combat.
No, it's just that Ninja Gaiden game is what I heard.
We'll talk about it. I've seen a lot of different theories. We'll see what happens. But anyways, we'll talk about that after we get to finish talking about Slitterhead. So I guess Brad, are you ready to do that?
Yeah, we're just hopping right into Slitterhead, huh?
Yeah. Oh, look how easy! Look how beautiful that switch over a transition was on the stream.
Nick, you did it. You can't compliment yourself.
I'm so proud of myself. Actually, I owe everything here to Chris Davis because he like made it. He set it up and made it really easy.
So Slitterhead, this was a game recommended by the Drunken Merchant. I mean, I was always wanting to try this game because it was
Run, Merchant, run.
A voice of
Bokeh
integrity.
Studio. They're former Team Silent people, which are
Yeah,
also the Gravity
that's
Rush
where you should be
people,
leading from. This is former Team Silent, baby. This was like for the longest time people were like, "Is this the spiritual successor to Silent Hill?" And it does not appear to be.
No, this is nothing like Silent Hill, like at all. And the truth is, you kind of blew right past it, but like they've made other shit since Silent Hill, like the Siren series, of course, and this does share some Siren like mechanics of sorts. But those people also worked on Gravity Rush, and those Gravity Rush games were like sick as hell. So I mean,
Gravity Rush is sick as hell. I just want to go ahead and
a variety of types of games, under their belt, but now they're kind of in the world of like the indie space Kickstarter game, and you could tell they don't have a lot of the budget to kind of make the first party published kind of games anymore. And so like, yeah, you're going to hear it probably from anyone who ever talks about it. It's got big PS2 energy, but like, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I will say
there's a space for it.
When I say it has big PS2 energy, I'm not talking about like God of War and Devil May Cry. I'm talking about the games that like, you go to GameStop when they're having a buy two, get two free, and you get some shit that it's just kind of fucking jank. And now on eBay, it's worth like $800, but whatever, it was never that good in the first place.
It's got that Rule of Rose energy.
PS2 awesome, right?
It's got that
kind of like some like fucking Blood Will Tale or something, like
oh wow, that's a deep cut.
Maybe that was too deep. Like a fucking Red Ninja kind of energy, maybe. Not like cut. Good, but like definitely weird and unique enough to like, well, this is some shit I haven't been playing lately, especially lately. And that's charming, right? It's charming when something is fucking janky PS2, if you will. I don't know.
It's charming when something is this fucked.
It's not like fucked. It's like they have some neat ideas and a banging soundtrack because it's Akira Yamaoka. And if this was something that was like backed by a bigger
Shadows
publisher,
of the Dam energy,
more time and budget, like maybe it would be something that breaks out a little more than it does, but I don't know, probably not. You know what, this with a slightly bigger budget is like Ghostwire Tokyo, and Ghostwire Tokyo probably needed like a slightly bigger budget than that, right? It's just kind of like, I don't know what to say. It's janky for sure.
What's this yellow flying turd thing that
well, that's you, right? That's you. You're like a fucking little brain worm. Fucking supernatural brainworm that can jump from person to person, and that's kind of like the mechanics of the game. It is a little weird that I started recording this footage.
This has prototype energy.
No. I mean, more like in the fact that they do have limbs like that turn into like bloody appendages, like claws and stuff. Yeah, that's a little prototypey. But you know what this? So it reminds me actually a little bit of Parasite Eve: The Third Birthday, which, let's be clear here, is a game that people were upset about because they knew it was a Parasite Eve game, which is what made it a disaster, right? But if it was just called something else, it would be like affectionately referred to as like a hidden gem of the PSP. And again, that's the energy that this has.
Like if this had been called Silent Hill something, it would be like, what the fuck?
No. See, Silent Hill fans wouldn't be happy because this is nothing like Silent Hill. It's like a.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if they had called this Silent Hill,
it's like more Akira, or it's like a horror action anime kind of shit, right?
Right.
And the action is like fucking combat. I will say I had not played this for a few days when I sat down to record the footage, and I completely forgot about the parry mechanic. I'm early enough in this game where I'm still like kind of fumbling with the controls, and they give you a lot of controls very early on. Like there's a lot going on here. You're constantly switching characters in combat. You have like a main set of characters that you can choose between and bring into a mission that missions take place in just like this open city or whatever. But like the missions themselves, once you kind of get around, there are fairly linear. You're just kind of following waypoints. Story stuff's happening. You're getting into fights. This is the first mission where I'm fighting like human soldiers, and it's a
With
very
magic
different vibe
guns.
than the kinds of like creatures and stuff that were like sprouting from other humans, Slitterheads and whatnot, of like the previous missions.
All right,
now
pause.
it's like, well, the fucking dudes are shooting at me and stuff. But like,
Pause.
combat is all about switching to random civilians that are just around, because if you stay as your character, you have like more of these prototypey powers than like a random civilian that you switch to. But you die pretty quick in this game, and like the way you stay alive is constantly switching. It's also just the way to like kind of get a jump on the enemy. Otherwise they're just gonna like fuck you up. They have like shields and guns like in this level, and like the best way to approach them is to just hop behind them via your little remember Mine Jack?
Yeah.
Mine Jack. This has Mine Jack energy. Like
Remember
people knew this was gonna
Psyops?
be a janky cult classic before this ever came out.
That game
And
was
that's-
sick as hell, though, Crispy, wasn't it?
Psyops?
Psyops?
Yeah.
It was
was
cool.
sick
It
as
was
hell.
cool.
And had the weirdest fucking co-op mode I've ever seen. The
But
co-op mode was 2 people control the same character.
No, that's right.
It's like one person does the legs and the other person does the arms. It was not cool.
yeah.
Sounds cool to
but,
me.
like,
Yeah.
This game's fucked up, and I don't quite understand like why it is so weird. Like, for example, I choose between 2 characters and I go into a battle, right? Or I go into a mission. And I'm like getting into fights, and I'm like, oh shit, let me switch to the other character that I brought with me because this character is low health. And I'm like, I have no idea where that character is. I'm fighting for my life. There's a bunch of like random ass civilians around I can jump into. The other character I've been leveling up and to bring into this mission with me, nowhere to be seen. I don't know what's going on. I would like to be her because she's got cool powers, but I guess I'm just gonna be this fucking dude in a polo shirt, who can his hand can turn into a mace, and I guess the mace is getting the job done. It's so strange.
I have a question, Brad.
But you're encouraged to constantly change because not only is you do that to survive, but you're doing that to because they have like their own like special abilities that like are on cooldowns or some shit, or their health is like their abilities. But like it's confusing and janky, and I don't know. Like I feel like maybe if I keep playing it, I'll get to the point where I'm like kind of vibing with the flow a little bit more. But right now, I'm mostly just going like, "What the fuck is going on, man?
What is this?
I just want to like I find myself always low on health with like the powerful main characters that I'm leveling up, and I'm like, why would I even stay as this character? I'm just gonna die. Let me be like that 60-year-old lady over there because she's gonna like fuck those dudes up, and she's got a lot of health right now. So I guess I'll just be her. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll switch back to my main character with the cool claws. I'm like, oh, she's got no health. This ain't gonna work. Let's go be that fucking 22-year-old college kid over there. And it's very weird. Also, there's like friendly fire. So like when I'm throwing like a blood grenade or some shit into like a pack of like monsters, and there's also a bunch of civilians around, I'm just like blowing them up too. And I'm like, no, I need them. They're my health bars.
Yeah. I mean, that in and of itself was kind of interesting. Quick question, Brad.
Yeah.
Now that you've played a fair amount of this, can you tell me what a Slitterhead is?
It's like some fucking creature thing that pops out of.
It's that thing from the movie
Humans.
Brain Damage.
They like turn into bosses and stuff, like bigger, grosser, like creatures.
When this game was first announced, go back and watch that announcement trailer, and then look at what the game actually is. It's like it's the weirdest.
Well, I mean, it's not that. That's the thing. It's not that. There is obviously like horror stuff in here, body horror stuff, like humans splitting apart into like.
But I never would have
creatures.
guessed it was this style, like gameplay. Like I never would. I don't think I ever would.
Not. But like that's what makes it interesting. If it was just another fucking horror game where you slowly walk around, and you're like, oh, I only have this many handgun bullets.
It would have been great.
I probably wouldn't even play it. No, it wouldn't have been great because it still would have been this budget game and it would have been janky and you would have not been okay with that. You'd be like, well, I'm just going to play the Silent Hill 2 remake because this one is fucked up. But at least this is different enough to be interesting enough to still stand out a little bit, right? Because stuff like this doesn't exist anymore. If it ever did, I don't know.
What are you talking about, Brad? You're playing it. I'm looking at it.
This is the perfect reason that GameFly still exists, honestly, because this is not a game that I...
Is 2025 the year that
somebody's going to buy
is...
and they're going to be immediately pissed off, but they're going to be like, I don't know, I can't have another game until my birthday, so I guess I'm just going to figure this one out. And that's how bad games become loved, I suppose. But like as a rental, it's kind of cool. I wish Redbox still had games. That was cool.
Does Redbox even...
When GameFly goes away, it's going to fundamentally change the way I choose games to play, and that's going to be sad.
Quick question: didn't Redbox like every Redbox I see these days is like shut down?
No,
I think it's dead.
It's dead.
That's dying. It's a dying business.
Yeah.
So is 2025 the year that GameFly goes kind of the same direction? Like,
but don't say that.
I'm just wondering.
But GameFly has been the same business for me, right? It's not like, you know, when Netflix came out, they were mailing you DVDs. GameFly is what it has always been. You rent games, they mail you the games, you play them, you keep them probably for too long than you should, and then you mail them back.
I'm going to be honest.
Model works because it's a subscription.
You're saying it out loud, and I'm thinking to myself, that sounds insane.
What sounds insane? Renting games?
You just described early days of Netflix, and it
sounds insane. But with games, it makes sense because games you play for a month or two, right? You don't do that with movies.
I guess that's true.
It was unsustainable. Netflix was unsustainable, but GameFly, I guess, gets just enough business. I don't know.
Brad's keeping it afloat.
I mean, the music is cool, and you're not seeing the stuff between missions, but it's like this.
You just switched gears.
Weird, stylish Slitterhead, yeah. But between missions, it's like you're having conversations between like the entity that's in all these people's brains and the person whose body you're inhabiting. You're constantly having conversations between those two characters, both outside of missions when they're just like hanging out in their apartment or like at their job at like a fucking corner store. You're just this entity in them and you're just having conversations like, oh, like later tonight when we go out to like fuck up some Slitterheads, what do you think, man? What do you think's happening here? And like the lady, like the fucking 18-year-old lady's like, I don't know, it's pretty crazy, my claws are sick. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know, it's weird. Like, check out this cutscene. We can't leave this again. You were hoping this was Silent Hill. Check out this cutscene.
I wasn't really hoping, but I was thinking it was going to be closer to Silent Hill than this.
Again, I'm not one to drag you, Nick.
But you're going to. Go ahead.
But you want every game to be Silent Hill, and that's not interesting. Not every game can be the same horror game. That's lame.
I don't want everything to be Silent Hill. But I don't know, dude.
But he would.
It's like you want everything to be Castlevania.
Well, no, I just want Castlevania. I don't want things to be Castlevania. I just want Castlevania to still exist. Other things can be other things. But I don't know what the fuck this is. This reminded me of like an Air Guys cutscene. Air Guys. What God versus the Ring? What Air Guys? God versus the Ring?
God bless the ring.
God bless the ring. Fuck yeah.
God bless the ring.
Oh man,
you gonna keep going with this? You gonna finish it?
I mean, if it's around, I mean, honestly, there's interesting games coming up that I want to play. We were watching trailers for some of them. But you know, I'm in this weird period where I'm kind of like wrapping up. Like I've been finishing a lot of the games that I had started, in 2024. I usually spend my January like cleaning that stuff up. I probably finished like 3-4 games since January started,
Damn.
All stuff that I had started in 2024. Some of them were games that I was like, most games that's the weird thing about me and finishing games. Most games by the end of the year, I've almost finished. What'll happen?
So you just get to pick and choose which ones to take across the finish line.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it, right? Because there's certain games that I realize, look, I probably don't need to finish this game to feel the way I feel about it when it comes to like giving awards. But like this one, I have to see the end of the story, otherwise this whole experience was not worth it.
So you're going forward in Slitterhead for the story. Who are you?
No. Slitterhead is just a byproduct of I've been finishing games and sending them back to GameFly, and I guess they were going to send me my next game, and it just happened to be Slitterhead. I'm not even playing Slitterhead for like Game of the Year awards. I'm just playing Slitterhead because it's here, and it's something to stream. I guess I don't know because I'm not going to stream the end of fucking World of Goo 2 or. Actually, I did stream the end of World of Goo 2, which is fucking bonkers. My God.
The Drunken Merchant requests that you mention the awesome UI, Brad.
It's not awesome.
It should capitulate.
It's different. I don't know about awesome.
Right.
It has some cool like visual effects. One of the funny things it does at the end of a mission, you beat your little boss. Every single time it zooms in, like it's very confusing. It zooms in on a character's face who's walking, and then it just freezes to be continued and like fucking inverts the colors or whatever, like a to be continued screen. Cool and stylish, right? But like when it happens with your cool main characters who have like fucking red eyes and cool, you can like change their outfits and shit. It looks kind of cool. But if the last person you were in when you finished, the boss is just like
an
a
old lady?
60-year-old grandma, like with the fucking paunch, that's who's in your cool fucking to be continued freeze frame at the end of a mission. Yeah. And like they knew that. They knew that. It's absurd, but I love it.
That's sick.
Yeah. Charmingly.
Did you, based on where you're at in the game, did you ever encounter, because one of like the first trailers of the game, they were showing like a platforming segment where you were jumping between like civilians.
Well, it's like verticality and stuff like implied in those trailers.
Yeah, I mean, you have some abilities to kind of jump around, but it's like fucking janky. Like I'm telling you, it's like sub Ghostwire Tokyo in terms of like, man, these mechanics are just barely held together here. They're just barely holding together. Yeah, I have Alex. I got this character. Like the two main characters were like ladies. And sorry, I was done, but Chris Davis famously asked like a 20% into the conversation question at the end, which he does a lot. And that's fine. That's fine.
We're going back to the footage.
This opportunity.
We're going back to the
use this opportunity to say that like the first two main characters you get are like cool ladies. The second one's like a prostitute. Like the game is very like a sex worker. Sorry, it's like very like seedy and dark and nightlife. Red light district. That's just kind of the vibe. These Slitterheads are in this brothel. Anyways. The third character is like literally he did like a fucking Akira slide, I think, earlier in there. He's like wears all black. He's got a motorcycle helmet and a shotgun and a motorcycle. And I'm like, I get that guy. I'm like, all right. I don't usually roll with dudes, but like this guy seems powerful. And I go into a boss fight. I'm just getting fucked up. I'm getting so fucked up. His abilities aren't doing anything. I either don't know how to use them or it's poorly balanced. And I'm like, this sucks. I'm gonna be the grandma. I just have to be the grandma because this guy is so bad. He's so bad. So I'm not even using that guy now. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on. Sorry, Chris Davis. I didn't mean to do that. I mean, that is like one of your signatures, but whatever. Let's move on.
Chris Davis's signature move.
To be fair, where is he supposed to cut in?
I know that is.
We are talking
fair,
about Slitterhead here.
Sometimes you just gotta let those questions go.
I mean, you just spent like 90% of the conversation talking about combat. I was just interested in like the other things I saw in that freaking trailer.
Brad. You are a person who is really into like verticality in games, and there was some implied verticality in those trailers.
There's some there. It's not good, but it's there. I mean, you can like kind of. They call it a blood jump.
A blood jump.
Oh my god. Okay. Let's.
Probably sounds cooler in Japanese.
Yeah. One would hope. All right. So let's. Like I said, that's the only game we really have to talk about tonight. So why don't we switch gears a little bit and talk about what's going on with Nintendo? Because it's going
on with Nintendo?
It's apparently going to be a big week. Apparently, I'm hesitant to like say with any like confirmation.
It's not like the Switch 2 is a secret, right? Nintendo's come out and said
worst kept secret.
Like last year, like it's not a secret. They said the Switch 2 is a thing.
Secret.
You're going to hear about it in this fiscal year.
They insist on calling it the Switch successor.
Yeah, the Switch successor, right? We don't know what it's called. But like the problem is everyone knows this thing exists. Like because not only is it just like leaks and rumors and all that stuff, but they've been sending fake models to the companies that make accessories, like third-party accessories and shit,
Right.
like fucking grips and stuff, right?
They got to make sure
So
they're
everyone
ready.
knows
The market's got to be ready for it.
what the Switch looks like now, and kind of like how it mechanically works, like the magnetic Joy-Cons and stuff.
Oh my god!
Because they're just sending models like that. They can't play games, but they're effectively like the mechanics of
Oh my god!
a Switch 2. They're sending them to these companies, and these companies are just taking pictures and like showing people. And I'm like, dude, make a trailer and reveal this thing better so we don't have to experience it this way.
Which is what we're going to get on Thursday, apparently. But I just want to say, because I was like, maybe we should start there and like talk about what we think this thing is actually going to be called. And Crispy goes in there and just puts, I'm obsessed now, Switch.
Sweet.
What a Switch.
It's Switch with 2 eyes. It's a sweet.
The Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
Fuck.
man.
Fuck, I love
do
it
that.
so much. I love it. That's never going to happen. Fuck, I love it so much.
It's going to be called the Nintendo Switch 2. And the reason is because the Wii
What did they call it? The Switch
the Wii was an incredible success. It was a phenomenon. It not only is it one of the best-selling systems of all time, literally, I think the second best. I think the Switch finally overtook it. Right? The Wii was a phenomenon. It like got casual gamers, soccer moms, are playing games now. So we're still feeling the impact of it because those people will still pick up the new Animal Crossing, whatever. Right? Huge, 100 million plus. Right? And then the Wii U comes out and it literally sells like 13 million worldwide. And it had Wii in the title. And there was confusion over what it is. But like to go from such an astronomical industry changing success, like there's still waggle in everything that you buy because of the Wii. And like going from that to like one of the most miserable modern console, like literally like 13 million units is unheard of. The Vita sold more than that. The fucking Vita. And the successor to the Wii, I don't think Nintendo is going to play with their food anymore. They can't afford to fuck up again. So I think they're going to call it the Switch 2, and it's going to look a lot like a Switch and work a lot like a Switch, and Nintendo's just going to fingers crossed, let's keep this baller rolling.
Can we just entertain the notion for 1 second that Crispy is right about the name? And for the first 9 months, when parents go in to like buy a Switch for their kids, they're gonna be like, "Do you want the Switch or the Switch?"
If this thing is called the Switch, I feel like I should get like 20 bonus points in Fantasy Critic.
So,
I would happily give it to you.
But you have to think about it, right? Like the Snap, right? That was the thing with the Switch, right? And that was literally the sound that they're kind of, not the actual sound, but the simulation of when you click it in, right? You click in the Joy-Cons, you click it into your dock. That's like the Snap, right? The Switch. The name is what it's doing, switching from a handheld to a console. But we now know that the Joy-Cons, like, they don't like slide and click. They like snap on, right? So do you think like the sound of that or the mechanic of that is going to like play into the name of the thing? Is it going to be the Switch Snap? Or the Switch Click, or the Switch. I don't know.
I feel like calling it the Switch 2 is too. It's calling it the Switch 2 and just leaving it at that. Like that would be probably the smartest thing to do. But like Nintendo is.
If anything, the most Nintendo's going to do is just do 2 snaps instead of 1.
I mean, what if they call it the Super Switch?
So that's not what's going to be like, right? They have to have a different like transition in their directs, right?
What if they call it the Super Switch, like the Super Nintendo?
It's just
the problem
it's only for old heads. It doesn't make sense anymore.
That doesn't make sense for today, and
Switch
it reflects a problem Nintendo had 30 years ago with the transition between the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Let's really confuse people.
They were confused about like what that difference meant. They didn't realize it was a separate platform.
Oh my god! Would it be if they like instead of Switch 2, they called it like the GameCube 2? Like they just really said, "Fuck you, dude. We're doing it too, but it's the GameCube, baby."
Let's really confuse them. Let's call it the Switch 64.
It's
Why
GameCube
not?
2, but with an exponential 2, and it's pronounced GameCubed. That doesn't make sense.
That's not bad.
'Cause
I like
cubed
it.
would be
two,
three.
two GameCubes duct taped together.
The
Two
Super
GameCubes.
Nintendo Switch.
That's the official name, is 2 GameCubes duct taped together.
I do feel a little bad for them, right? Because they love like the puns, and they love one of the things that they've always done, like since Mario 64 and Donkey Kong 64 or whatever, and like, the DS games, right? Where like the first few years of the DS, all of the like Nintendo first party games had like subtitles that were like DS, right? They had like, a dual, like,
Dual Strike.
what's like Dual Strike, right? For Advance Wars Dual Strike, or like Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. And there was a lot of like DS names, right? And that was cool. I liked that, right? But they can't do that with the newer stuff. And like the 3D stuff, it was all their 3D games, and 3D's in the title, right? I don't know. Switch was just boring. So they couldn't do anything with that name. It was just that sound.
And you think they're going to go with Switch too? I talk about boring. I don't know.
In fact, the only thing they did that involved the name was 1-2 Switch, and that didn't work out.
That is true. That is true. But they can't get. I mean, it's they've got to hold on to that brand recognition. So,
Yeah.
what do we think we know right now? I mean, so we've talked about the Joy-Cons being more like connecting.
There's other
magnetically.
mechanics. I mean, there's other things that. Oh man, I'm not.
It's a bigger screen,
Maybe
right?
those magnets are gonna suck.
Like, there's rumors all over the place. There's rumors about
Yeah.
back paddles. There's rumors about Hall effect joysticks. There's rumors about all kinds of shit. But like, that's the stuff that's more likely to be real, because hardware or like hardware mock-ups are being sent to these companies that have to like, they have to be able to like take it apart and stuff. Like, like not completely, but Joy-Cons and stuff have to be able to like be functional.
I mean, the two questions I have. Number one, are they going to have a dedicated handheld SKU that you cannot plug into a dock for use on your TV?
Not at launch.
I mean, the Switch Lite still sells really, really well.
Yeah, but I still think that like they're probably going to hold on to that. I mean, that's the kind of thing where you stagger your alternate versions, and you space them out so you can kind of like rejuvenate the market periodically.
Yeah. And plus, these accessory manufacturers, we'd be seeing accessories for like a smaller Switch or something.
I'm guessing
the
two
Switch.
SKUs, and the only difference is colors.
And the other thing I question is, are we prepared to pay upwards of $500 for a Switch 2?
Is that really what people are? I don't think
That's
people
just
are.
what things cost. It's what things
That's
cost.
just what things cost. Yeah. No way. Fuck that.
Did you see the NVIDIA graphics cards?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it's a steal.
You can have
it's
4090
what things
performance
cost.
into 5070 for $549.
I
with
do
15
think
asterisks behind that.
Look. I think the Switch 2 is going to probably be a step up in terms of processing power, but like not like a huge jump. I think they're gonna they are known. Their platform has always been the cheaper option, right? I think that's gonna hold true. Even if that does mean at $400, that's still the cheaper option when compared to the base models for the PS5 and the Xbox at this point. So I would say anywhere from $350 to $400. I'm not expecting a huge
that's about
technological
right.
jump.
$350 to $400.
I feel
Sounds
like
about
400 is the floor.
And by the way,
Because I think
floor,
Nintendo's going to keep manufacturing the regular Switch for a good long while.
I mean, there's
They'll
also
keep
the
it at
possibility
existing price.
that they're getting greedy, and they know that people will pay it.
People will buy it at $400
Yeah.
because that's just what.
Tariffs.
Yeah.
That's another. Oh god! I wish this thing would have
Real
got out there
possibility.
before that.
The tariffs.
You know what's going to be really annoying? Is Thursday the day that we're going to have to like try to pre-order this thing, or do you think that'll come later?
Well, here's the thing. This announcement we're getting on Thursday is supposedly just focused entirely on hardware with no software announcements. So I would imagine they're not going to ask people to pre-order the system without having any software out there
Well,
pre-order with it.
but like that doesn't mean they're not gonna announce. Like, so when the Switch was revealed, there was like a sizzle reel, right? We found out about Mario Odyssey because when you show a game console, there has to be something on the screen, and it was Switch games, including a new Mario game. So like, I think we're gonna like find out something. I think they just mean they're not gonna spend a lot of time talking about.
I think they're gonna show a prettier version of a game that's already out there, like Tears of the Kingdom or something.
I mean, that's the thing is that this is going to be a backwards compatible system, so they've got to be able to demonstrate the differences between a Switch experience and a Switch 2 experience to sell people.
What if it's an unannounced 3D Mario platformer?
But no, they've got to show at least one launch title. It doesn't have to be big. It could be a 1-2 Switch successor. I'm not saying that's a good idea, but it could be
Ace Combat.
Switch. They already did a 1-2 Switch sequel, and it was a huge fucking bomb.
It was, yeah.
Maybe it's another Labo.
Maybe another ARMS game.
Oh my God, Crispy! I forgot about that.
Remember they tried to like make ARMS like a competitive esport?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It was a fighting game.
They could show Mario Kart. I feel like Mario Kart would be a nice thing to kind of show off alongside the new hardware. I mean, I feel like it's not.
How about a 3D Mario? How about an unannounced 3D Mario game?
Boo, no Mario. It's too soon for Mario.
Unannounced
you can't launch Mario the same year as Metroid. You're cannibalizing your market. Don't do it. Don't do it, Nintendo.
Yeah, don't forget about 2017.
How long has it been since we had a new Kirby game?
You shut your
mouth. What are you talking about?
Couple years?
The forgotten
the big pink car, like the disgusting flesh car.
Yeah, I forgot when that was.
I mean,
well, that was much more recent than Mario Odyssey or even Bowser's Fury.
They could show Metroid Prime.
That's like one of their more recent platformers.
They could put Metroid
Prime
on the
I think they will.
Oh, yeah.
Do Metroid Prime.
F-Zero's coming back. I can feel it.
Yep. There we go. There it is.
I would love it, but
what they probably could do, though, instead of showing off like a dedicated big name launch title, is do a sizzle reel of games that are expected for the Xbox and PS5 that you would not have expected to come to the Switch.
It's not very Nintendo-like.
Like Fable.
Nintendo-like.
Yeah, I mean,
a reveal. You don't.
But it would mean a lot to people who only play Nintendo systems, who have been watching PlayStation and Xbox get all these like huge games that they wanted to play. You know what I mean? But you're right. I don't think that feels like Nintendo. We'll see. But you're right. To your point, they have to have something on the screen. So we'll see. Well, although I could see them. I could see them playing up some big like what do you call it? Like the Miiverse type thing, where it's just like some like social hub kind of thing that's like new to the Switch, and like that could end up being what they're showing off.
What if it's something super lame, like yet another Splatoon game? I'd be so mad if it's like Splatoon 4. Woo, Splatoon is back. I'm like, oh,
maybe maybe the new Switch will have like some kind of integrated AI functionality.
God, no. Animal Crossing.
Don't say that.
Did you say Cannibal Crossing?
You could do it. They just launched the Switch version of Pocket Camp, right? So I don't think they would be doing a new Animal Crossing now. Also, plus, no one wants to fuck with. We're going to be living in a post Hello Kitty Island Adventure world by the time.
That Hobbit game is going to get fucking stomped by Hello Kitty, isn't it?
Yeah,
probably. All right, so we'll find out more about that on.
Game's all right. That's a Weta Workshop game. Could be great.
Like it could be. It's your hobbits living in Hobbiton, or not like Bywater.
Say no more.
I don't remember. It's not Hobbiton, but in the Shire. I mean, come on, you get to be Shire Eve.
Look, I think what we can all take away from this conversation is that it really should be called the Switch. Okay.
The Switch.
The Switch. All right, we'll find out more about that on Thursday, so I'm sure we'll be talking about it in the weeks to come. Next, I just want to talk a little bit about the Xbox Developer Direct next week. Chris Davis, maybe could you pull up the list of games they're talking about? Because they're doing the same thing they did last time.
Why is it
which
got to
is,
be me?
Well, because I know that you don't have anything going on your screen right now because I'm doing your job.
Yes, it's true.
Just turn on your little green hue lights, buddy. We know what
Oh,
you can't hide from
fuck
us.
off. So there's going to be 4 games, possibly 5 that they're going to be talking about. 3 of them are known quantities.
Oh, so okay,
One
doesn't the thing show
So-
5 on like they have like a graphic out
it shows 4.
Oh,
It shows
okay.
4. 3 announced games, 1 mystery game.
there. Right.
The 3 ones that are announced are Doom: The Dark Ages,
Yeah.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33, fuck yeah, and South of Midnight from Compulsion.
I am excited for all 3 of those games. So consider me
How come no
interested.
one drafted South of Midnight?
I thought about it. It was on my list, but
did
it's
you?
also.
I mean, that's for the developers of We
I
Happy
was-
Few, if you recall.
I was going to, but then I heard it had DEI in it, so.
Oh, true.
Again,
Now,
True.
So the big thing and the heaviest rumor that's been going on this week is that the 4th game they're going to show off is a long rumored Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake.
that would be. They did say this is going to.
Does
feels
Oblivion hold
desperate.
up? Does
That feels
Oblivion hold up?
Microsoft did say that this unannounced game is going to be a crowd pleaser. And they but they did.
Literally just a video game.
But
You know, that
look,
could be any
look.
video game.
We made
But
Starfield fun.
I don't think that 4th game could be Elder Scrolls because they said I'm almost positive that Microsoft in the tweet where they were announcing this event said they are announcing a new entry in a famed legendary Japanese franchise. And I think most people most of what I've seen has been theorizing they're going to show off Resident Evil 9. Like this is where they're going to
No, I've seen all kinds of stuff. Persona
heard
6. You know, I've also heard some like maybe Dragon Quest 12 or whatever, but I don't know. I heard somebody say, "No, dog, this is actually just that Ninja Gaiden game. There's some miscommunication here."
That would be the hugest disappointment.
Well, any Japanese game for you. I
Shut
mean, just
the
the nature of it being a legendary Japanese franchise. I get it.
Imperial.
You don't think that Ninja Gaiden game from the creators of Blasphemous is sick?
No, I mean,
You're a fucking mark, man. You hate pixel art.
I
Fucking-
don't.
what's
I
wrong?
love Blasphemous, you bitch. What are you talking about? You're the one who
Can
hates
we go back
Blasphemous.
to Oblivion? Can we go
famously.
back to Oblivion? First of all, it's not
Uh-huh.
long rumored. Literal court documents that were released and poorly redacted or whatever from
The
Microsoft
FTC case, yeah.
said the Oblivion remake is a thing. It was just on a list of their current projects. So, like, we know that's a thing. My question for y'all is does Oblivion hold up?
No.
You know, does Skyrim hold up? Like, what? So you remake Oblivion. What do they do to make Oblivion better? Because like
They
main
make it
quest-
into
like,
Skyrim.
Skyrim did everything better in my opinion than Oblivion. Now I know
Yes,
there's a lot of nostalgia for Oblivion, but like people aren't even okay with something like if they just make the combat like more like Skyrim, that's not good enough, you know, because that combat sucks. And like the other thing is the main quest of Oblivion sucks ass. You're just closing Oblivion gates the entire time and it's so dull.
But Patrick Stewart.
No, Patrick.
They had him for
whatever. What are
20
they going to
seconds,
do? Are they
right?
going to re-record the audio, or is it going to be that same lame ass 2005 audio? I don't know.
Wow, I still remember the year
2006.
that Oblivion came out. Were we podcasting when that game came out? We must have been.
Dude, I don't
Is
know.
Oblivion's
05.
world so good? I don't think Oblivion's world is so good. Coming from a Morrowind fan, Oblivion's world seemed very fucking like generic and like walled and like not that great. Now there was amazing quests, right? You know, like the Dark Brotherhood. Like there's some cool shit in Oblivion, no doubt. But like to me, it is the weaker of the three modern, semi-modern, the three Elder Scrolls games that came out this century. Yeah, I don't know.
Here's my question.
But
Do
there's
you
a
think
lot
that
of nostalgia.
I know this is not this what I'm about to say is really not there's really not much there. But just it's a Microsoft presentation and the Doom the Dark Ages is going to be there, which is a Bethesda published title. Do you think 2 out of the 4 games are going to be Bethesda published?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
Didn't they spend like a fucking $1 billion to acquire them?
I guess that's
Are
a good
these
point.
ever like sick? These developer directs? I mean, like
I mean,
last
they
year
showed a-
like a Avowed or some shit.
I mean,
like
I like.
Honestly, they've been getting better over time.
I think they've been actually pretty
Silksong.
impressive.
Could Silksong be there?
Maybe. I mean, look. Well, I mean, again, I go back to them teasing a famed Japanese franchise. Like, I don't think it's going to be
Yeah.
Silksong.
If,
Look,
if Silksong was gonna be there and they were like, "Get ready, we're teasing a new Ninja Gaiden," like
isn't
that's
this
insane.
where they showed off where they finally did like a deep dive into Indiana Jones? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yes.
Yeah. So they
Wait,
did that.
This?
Yeah, these
They
developer
showed, like, a
directs.
fucking,
No,
but it wasn't the one in January.
No, it was
No, it was like in mid.
no,
2024.
it was January last year when they first like revealed it, but it didn't show actual
Yeah,
gameplay.
a reveal. It took a long time for them to actually start showing.
But I'm
someone
talking about like
playing that game.
when they finally showed like a bunch of gameplay. It was albeit it was a bunch of gameplay, kind of like cut, like lots of cuts and whatnot. So
Yeah.
but they finally did like they showed off a lot of like the game in motion, I think, during one of these developer directs.
Are we going to see Fable? Fable not drafted by anyone.
Japanese franchise, Brad. God damn it! Listen,
No,
are
I'm
you
talking about
listening
the
to what
other
I'm
games
saying?
now. I'm talking about the other games now.
But the other games they've already announced: Doom: The Dark Ages, South
Oh.
of Midnight, and what was the other one?
State of Decay 3, where's that?
The 33, whatever.
Oh yeah.
I think State of Decay
Claire
3
Obscure.
is
Yeah.
late this year. Nick, regarding Resident Evil, if it's a Resident Evil game, it's not going to be 9. It's going to be the 0 remake that has been.
Or that it could be one of the remakes.
Long
I mean,
Well, if you believe Dust Golem, who changes his
It-
mind all the fucking time.
they talked about it being an entry in a long-running legendary Japanese franchise, which all of that that checks the boxes for Resident Evil and remakes.
So I don't think that would count as new entry.
Oh,
Ace Combat?
It could also be a port of Final Fantasy VII remake.
they said
No, that's not
listen,
a new
bitch.
entry.
They said it was they're teasing this. They're teasing this like it's a new game announcement. I don't think they're gonna hit us with a port. I don't think they're talking about a remake of Oblivion. I think it's going to be. I'm not necessarily saying it's Resident Evil, but I think it's more likely to be a Resident Evil entry or something along the lines of Persona. Maybe. I mean, was Persona 5 multi-platform, or is that exclusive to
Persona
PlayStation?
6.
But
There's
is it
talk of
multi-platform?
Persona 6, maybe, I think.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe, but
yeah.
Metaphor came out like 3 months ago. Like,
I mean, that doesn't
I don't
fucking
think
matter. I
they-
mean,
Yeah, but Persona, that's a different team, though. That's the thing. You know, also,
Did
the
the-
whole, like, it's obviously Resident Evil 0. Like, the Dust Golem order thing on 0 coming before 9 is not something he heard. It's his own speculation. My question for you is, do you actually believe they fully remade 0 after the release of Resident Evil 4 remake and they're already ready to show it and maybe release it this year? That seems fucking crazy.
Well, Resident Evil 4 was 2 years ago. And
Yeah,
also
2 years ago.
It's
And they're saying it's those people, while the people who've been working on Resident Evil 9 since Village aren't ready to show their game. There's no fucking way. There's no way. Like, to remake 0 is like a full. I mean, you can't. It's not even like Resident Evil 4. There's no bones there. You have to make a full ass new game. That takes more than 2 years in the modern
But,
era.
well, first off, I highly doubt it's the same team that worked on 4.
But
no way.
But the Dust Golem said that they decided to shift focus towards remakes after the success of Resident Evil 4, and that Resident Evil 9 was already in development from the other Resident Evil team.
Yeah. But also, if you think about it, like, the obvious goal is to eventually have them do a remake of Resident Evil 5. So
What are you talking about? The goals are just putting out successful
Would you-
games.
the goal is to
Shut the
remake
fuck up
all
for
of
a
them.
second.
No,
Shut the
this
fuck up
was
for a
your
second,
theory
Brad.
about testing co-op, but you're telling me that they're going to remake 0, Code Veronica, and release Resident Evil 9, and the goal is actually Resident Evil 5 remake. What are you talking about?
I didn't say anything about Code Veronica.
Well, that's part of what Dos Golem said. That's also a confirmed remake.
That's the one I want the most.
IGN. That was corroborated.
I don't know about Code Veronica, but I think it's realistic that you take a game that was designed for single player split character control, make it a co-op experience, and use that as the prototype for a Resident Evil 5 remake.
All I'm saying is those 3 projects, Zero, Code Veronica, and Resident Evil 9, are far more interesting than a remake of Resident Evil 5 to me. So for you to say that that's an end goal seems weird, but whatever.
Okay, let me throw out a different idea here.
For the
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
But that's
known.
Yeah, this is
long running franchise.
What is the exact wording here? Can someone find it?
Hold on, I'll try and find it. But y'all got to talk while I do this.
I thought it's an unannounced game. I thought it's unannounced.
Okay, you're not talking. This is an audio podcast.
I don't think it necessarily has to be unannounced. I just
okay. Well,
visit a hold on. Oh wait. Okay. Okay. Listen. In the tweet, it says visit a surprise location to see another studio's brand new game. Brand new game. That's not where it was talking about the.
So literally that can be anything.
Well,
okay. I'm seeing more that it's just this new Ninja Gaiden game.
Yeah, but that's already been revealed and shown multiple trailers at this point.
Well, they've shown one trailer and that reveal just happened. So like I could see like depending on when they got this information that Ragebound was still like this new thing. Like the way the information might have been communicated or leaked could have been about something. Like I'm saying that could have been written before Ragebound got announced, which was just in December, mid-December. I don't know.
All right, we've speculated enough. I mean, who the fuck knows? It could be anything.
Mind blowing.
Who the fuck knows?
Could it be a brand new game in the Metal Gear Solid series, like Ichi said? Could it be like Konami saying we're doing it, Metal Gear Solid 6, motherfuckers?
Damn.
Kojima who?
Metal Gear Solid 5, but like numeric 5, not Metal Gear Solid V.
I like that theory. I like that theory almost as much as the Switch. Okay, we're gonna, we'll talk about what this actually ends up being. Who the fuck knows? It could be anything at this point. Don't listen to us.
Actually, do listen to us. We're a fucking podcast.
Oh yeah. Okay, I take that back. We are a podcast. You should maybe listen to us. We have been doing this for a long time, so I like to think there's some some validity to what we say. But take. Let's wrap this fucking show up. Words have left me.
I mean,
all right. Look, it's our first 4-player minute of the year. Don't let me down, Brad.
Oh man, are we already here?
Yeah,
I'm not ready.
Look,
You're
it's
always
2025 and we're still doing this. Let's go.
My four-player minute starts now. My hype for the week. How do we do this? My final thought. Did y'all see that new trailer for Castlevania?
Oh,
Netflix
the fucking
Nocturne Season 2?
Yeah. Nocturne Season 2. It looks so good. Prince Revolution is fully on. It's just crazy.
Man,
it looks so good. Cool. How do we live in a world where I'm popping off at a fucking made for Netflix Castlevania show trailer, a spinoff? I don't know, man, but it looks sick, dude. It looks so sick. And the fucking cool lady vampire who fucking died at the end of last season, like they found a way to bring her back because everyone loved her. She was the GOAT. Oh, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked. Yeah.
They found a way to bring back a vampire, huh?
And like Alucard, it's full on Symphony of the Night Alucard now, right? Which is very different than the Alucard that was in like the original Castlevania series, because different time period, right?
He's gonna have a fucking busted ass Chrysogrim.
Oh man, it looks so good. Symphony of the Night Alucard, it's so sick.
So fucking sick.
I'm stoked. I'm hyped.
He's so pretty. I just want to hug him and kiss him.
Yeah. And they do a lot of hugging and kissing on that show, man. There's a lot of.
Should I watch the show?
Hugging and kissing.
A lot of smooching.
You ever watched any of the Castlevania stuff?
No,
Nick?
I have not watched a
It's
single
good.
frame.
It's a really
really
fucking
good.
good show. It is violent,
it is
gory as fuck. It's
Yeah, I
right
don't
up your
know.
alley.
Would Nick like that? Do you watch animated stuff, Nick?
Dude, but it's very.
I did watch and enjoy Edge Runners a lot.
Oh well, that was art. I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly.
You'll-
Are you saying this is not art? Castlevania
no,
is not
it
art.
is.
This is
It
like-
is. But it's also.
This is a different kind of vibe.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, like the dialogue. Yeah, you'd love it, Nick. I think you'd be into it.
Okay.
It has a
I
very
appreciate that coming from Crispy more than Chris Davis going, it's bloody and gory. Nick will love it. Like, I don't know what you think
Okay.
I watch.
Yeah, a lot of stuff these days, like
What is on
the
the-
dialogue
your
is
fucking
trying to be
t-shirt?
like
He's
kind of
wearing a
realistic,
Dexter
like how people actually talk to each other, right? Castlevania is not like that. It's very like
Yeah,
kind of fancy and
it's
like
a
also
very like
poetic
modern,
and gloomy.
naturalistic kind of
Okay.
dialogue. They
Also,
do like
li-
kind of quippy shit, but
Listen,
it's
bitches.
not
They-
suffocating.
Chris Davis. Dexter, not that violent. I mean, it's dark material, but like violent, like on-screen violence, not a ton. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay, let me pitch it another way. Okay,
I'm sold.
As
You
a
don't even have to.
Buffy
You don't even
fan-
have to. As a Buffy.
as
Okay,
a
sorry,
Buffy
you said Buffy.
fan. Okay. You know how
You have my
in
attention.
Buffy they really tried to every now and then go logical and explain a lot of things, like the. Well, there's a really good explanation as to the physics of vampires in this that kind of, it's fucking awesome.
Okay. Okay. That was kind of a roundabout way of getting me on board, I suppose. That is not exactly what I think of when I think of Buffy, like trying to explain everything, because I don't really think it
Yeah.
does that. But
like, basically every other episode of Buffy was them
Giles?
spending half the time in the library researching stuff.
well, yeah. Okay.
What
All
are-
you had
what
to
are
say
we on
was
now?
good
What are we talking
vampire
about?
lore.
What are we talking
Good
about?
vampire lore is great, dude.
It's good vampire lore.
Did
It's
y'all
fun
see
vampire
fucking
lore.
Nosferatu
The
yet?
fight scenes are sick.
Are we still talking about Castlevania?
We're talking about vampires now, Brad. Get on the
Nosferatu
fucking.
was sick. I loved it.
Does Nosferatu have good fight scenes?
No.
Yeah,
Any
great
floating
fight
swords
scenes.
in Nosferatu?
It had great fight scenes.
You like floating
Uh,
swords slicing up dudes.
when
You like Castlevania.
when Nicholas Hoult goes to kill the vampire and he's like and like attacks him and stands up out of his coffin and his like fucking undead wieners hanging there.
With this huge
And Nicholas
mustache.
Hoult- Yeah, Nicholas Holt's just like fucking terrified of his penis and runs away. Great stuff.
I'm seeing more people saying Ninja Gaiden for this.
How much-
fucking Microsoft
how much
thing.
vampire-
I hate to bring y'all down.
How much vampire penis would you say is in Castlevania? I'm sorry.
Not enough.
Not
There's a lot of like fucking
To be
doing
certain.
it though. Like fucking Alucard was like banging a dude and a chick at the same time in like season 2 of the first show, season
Yeah.
3.
all right. See,
Laying
that's all, you,
pipe.
that's all you
Just
had to say.
fucking-
I'm on board.
Just fucking pounding it out, you know?
All right.
Fucking
Thank you, Brad, for that. Chris Davis, what's your final thought for the week?
My final thought is gaming fucking fatigue right now.
Gaming.
I haven't revealed this to the world yet, but I've been playing Balatro. And
Oh no.
that game is fucking, it's dangerous. It is
You
fucking-
have revealed this to the world
dangerous.
already because
I
you
did?
said that exact word somewhere recently where you said this game is dangerous, and I'm pretty sure you were talking about Balatro. So this is not
Okay. Well, I haven't revealed on the fucking podcast, Nick. How
Okay.
about that? Balatro
Look, Balatro's good, but it's like
it's good. It's really fucking good is the problem. It's
it's
too
no
fucking good.
Slider. Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
What the fuck ever, Brad?
Here's the
What fuck
problem
ever?
with
I put
Balatro.
25 hours into this game in less than 2
Okay,
weeks.
that's fucking rookie numbers. What are you talking about?
I know.
Hey, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Because I play Balatro at work, like on my fucking lunch break or whatever, or just
nice save, Brad.
And well, I mean, when I'm taking a shit, but I mean that's besides the point. You know, no one's watching me take a shit. But like when I'm on lunch
That's
break and
why
I'm
it
playing
takes
a little
45
Balatro as I eat my fucking cup noodles or whatever the fuck.
On
Like
the show.
I work. I mean, look, I don't want people thinking that I'm like playing online poker, and that's what Balatro looks like. And I am not comfortable with people thinking that, because they're just going to think I have like a gambling problem, and that's not good. It's not good for my job, at least. So I'm kind of self-conscious about. I'm hiding Balatro.
This is a random
because it
thought,
looks like online
but
poker.
I'm sitting here wondering if if Brad has that somehow hooked up to Discord, so that like when he starts playing a game, like it tells you like Brad's playing Balatro, and now if I see that, I'm gonna be like, is Brad taking a shit right now? Like it's like all.
I don't have it connected to Discord.
Track how regular he is.
But
through Balatro
but I do
notifications.
play.
Wow, Brad, 3 shits in one day. You all right, buddy?
I work in a kind of an office setting, and let me tell you, you take longer shits than you actually need sometimes when you're just trying.
I'm
to get
aware.
out of the chaos. And yeah, man, sometimes you got a really good Balatro or Slay the Spire run going, or Slice and Dice, and you're like, oh shit, they probably think I have issues, but whatever. They're not allowed to talk about them because that would be a HIPAA violation. So fuck them. I'm gonna play another round of Balatro.
Dude, hell yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Chris Davis, aside from your?
I mean, part of my fatigue also is that I've been playing a lot of Stalker. I'm 41 hours into it.
Oh, we're like
And-
almost at the same level here. Look at this.
Is that
I'm
game
about.
any good? Because they are like, why aren't we all finished?
What?
I mean,
I haven't had
okay,
a ton
so-
of time.
Chris Davis, you finish games super quick, and you're like dragging.
I
your
do.
feet. What's going on?
When I don't
He's
have a
playing
lot of stuff
Balatro.
going on in my life, sure.
Well, it's not
but-
dimming your room, so you're not spending time doing that. What are you working on?
No, but I've had some emergency family stuff recently that I've had.
Oh,
to
that's
take
true.
care
That's
of.
true.
That is
seemed pretty
true.
Crazy. That seemed pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
But like,
That's what
I
Balatro on the goes for, man.
mean, I've just been playing on Steam. I don't want to risk it installing it on my phone. I don't know what I'll do with myself. But with Stalker 2,
This is the only way to play.
My thing about Stalker 2 right now is that, so I feel like I was just starting like Act 2, where the shit was starting to hit the fan, and the plot was starting to develop. I was finally starting to get an understanding of like, what is this game about? What is the story going to go for, right? And so I'm following the main quest line, and I'm doing side quests that pop up every now and then, which are considerably infrequent for a Stalker game, it feels like. And I get to a point where I'm on the cusp of a new area, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm 40 hours in. Let me get an idea of like where I'm at in the game. Like, surely I'm close to Act 3, right?
I don't even know how
I've
you're
still got-
gauging acts in this game.
I just narrative
haven't-
beats.
I haven't
Narrative beats where I'm going. Yeah.
This game has narrative beats. I don't feel like it has.
It does. It fucking does. And so I look it up on Wikipedia, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm at the end game. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's not fucking possible.
It feels like the story just got started going, and like you're telling me that I'm at the end game. Like that frustrated me, and
You must be
Do you
mainlining it,
hate
dude.
Stalker 2?
I don't hate Stalker 2. I kind of feel myself wanting more stuff to do. Like
Okay.
all like the natural like environmental surprises and stuff like that they've built in, all the exploration of the environment, the hidden like the hidden little caves and the sewer system and all those different underground places that are really interesting to go explore to me. It's all well and cool. But there's not a lot of side quests, really. And I feel like there's a certain like power limiting curve for the player, and I feel like I hit that too early.
What part of the map are you in?
I mean, I've gone everywhere on the map
Okay,
at this
see,
point.
I'm 42 hours into this game, and I'm in the swamps, if that tells you anything.
Okay.
But, like, there is, like,
this shit.
there is more than half the map I haven't even touched yet. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. What are you doing,
They
Brad?
got they got 1,000 times resist cards. Look at this shit. Look
Oh,
at
that's
that.
kinda
Look
cool.
at my Jack of Clubs is the defect from Slay the Spire. It's the coolest
cool.
shit. I love these crossovers. Look at that. It's fucking blue.
All
It's
right,
fucking
all right.
the Watcher.
Okay, guys.
Anyway.
Let's get back on track.
Like I like Stalker 2. I kind of want to just stop right now and wait till that expansion comes out before I play through it more, because
That's interesting.
I really like the game and I don't want it to end, but more importantly, I don't want it to end on a narratively kind of disappointing note.
Okay. Interesting. Maybe we'll revisit Stalker when we get back to doing regular shows more frequently, because by that time I should be like 60 or 70 plus hours into it, and I'll have more to say about it as well. Crispy, final thought for the week?
Well, it's January 14th, which means we are like 5-6 weeks away from Monster Hunter Wilds.
Something like that.
Ooh, that's crazy. That's my actual deadline for playing all video games is Monster Hunter Wilds release date.
Yeah,
and God forbid the Slay the Spire 2 early access drops anywhere near that.
Also fucking Like a Dragon comes out a week before.
Dude,
that's fucked up. But I'm
not
caught up on Like a Dragon, so that doesn't bother me. Oh God, I still have to finish.
You're not caught up. Well, you can still play a pirate. You can still play pirate.
I have to play all of Infinite Wealth. Like,
you got this.
I don't have any money, so
that could be.
That's why you're in our Steam family. Man. We got you. The family takes care of you.
Yeah,
in fact,
I know Infinite Wealth is in the Steam family. Yeah.
Shit, I could play Infinite Wealth. Look at that.
Fucked up, man. I am fucked up because I played like 90 fucking hours of Final Fantasy 14 in the last week. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just I'm just working a job.
Stuff like
I'm just working a job in the MMO because I'm just trying to make money. Because there's like mounts that I want that cost millions of gil, and
This motherfucker, put him out of his misery. You know, Jagger used to tell me that Final Fantasy 14 is not a lifestyle game. This was both. This motherfucker.
Spoken like a true addict.
Dude, I'm like doing hunt trains and working on my fucking island and just hustling and wrestling for every fucking gil I can get my hands on. It sucks. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 comes out on the 4th.
Yeah, we never got to that trailer, but like a preview embargo lifted. That's very positive. And now I'm kind of sad that I counterpicked it, but it's looking.
We're all sad that we counterpicked at least one
weird.
of our.
I mean,
but my game's actually coming out.
We'll see, right? Like the people are probably definitely gonna love it. Will the press love it? Will the press cut it slack? I don't know. We'll see.
And also, like,
y'all
have no issue with counterpicking my shit. Y'all have issues counterpicking
Carlos will.
each other's shit.
Carlos will.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I counterpicked one of your games, and it was by far like the biggest boomer bust fucking counterpick on that list.
Yeah,
because if Shadow 6 comes out, I'm a dead man. Like,
yeah, you're dead.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. But I feel it. I don't know. Like, I want to believe with my heart of heart and my brain of brains that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will be a huge early windfall for Levi's men's Sherpa line 2 pocket hooded jacket in olive green. But we'll see.
Oh God, I was re-listening to the draft from last week, and we got to that part, and I was just like hearing the wind come out of it, like taken out of everybody's sails when they realized what the fuck you were talking about. And we're just like, oh shit. It was actually pretty spectacular.
I am displeased.
Good stuff. Very good stuff. All right. My final thought for the week is that I feel like I haven't every like second of gaming time I've had recently, which is not, I feel like has not been a ton, I've been devoting to Stalker 2. And I'm still enjoying it. I want to get further.
What's taking you so long, Nick?
I'll tell you. That's what I'm getting to. And I feel like I'm just setting myself up for embarrassment here. But when there is a new season of Dexter airing,
that's true.
The rest of my world,
your brain cells,
kind of slows down. Like I don't. Like that's what my world kind of revolves around. So there's 4 episodes left in this season. So at least 4 more weeks of that, and then
Really?
And then they just started filming the next season, which is airing in
That's so
June.
much. What is going on?
It is a lot.
The DCU, man. The
It is
DCU.
it is the DCU a little bit now. But I'm here for it, man. It's an exciting time for me to be alive. So
Has the Dexter Cinematic Universe had its like solo moment, like how he got his name Dexter because his like his father like fucking
Was watching Dexter's
was banging him while
Laboratory.
watching Dexter's Laboratory. or
no,
whatever.
no, that definitely
name
has not happened. Definitely has not happened yet. But I've been enjoying it so far a lot, and I'm just basking in it. And yeah, so I just I watch all the new episodes like multiple times. So
I finally watched the Chimp Show.
the what show?
The Chimp Show from the Tiger King dude. That shit was pretty wild.
There's a chimp show from the Tiger King dude.
Yeah, Chimp Love, I think it's called.
What the
From the
fuck?
Tiger King dude, but it's crazy
Love?
because the Tiger King like producer guy
Oh, I
became
don't wanna
too
go
well
with that.
known, so he had to have like a fake producer, like director or whatever, like filming this documentary, and because he has to hide himself. So this crazy chimp lady doesn't know that she's getting Tiger Kinged. She's crazy, by the way. Yeah, rip Tonka.
What is it
and-
called?
Tonka died. I thought Tonka was still alive. Chimp Love or something. I don't know.
That sounds bad.
It's out there, man. And they do like a full episode on like the face ripoff, like Chimp. Like it's if all.
Okay,
the
I was
stories
about to say,
Chimp
wait, they do something with the chimp eating the person's face? What?
Well, they do an episode on that to kind of like show like, yeah, chimps are fucking dangerous or whatever, right? And that they play that call. I'm sure you've heard the 911 call.
Dude,
it's like
there's
but
a metal
like they set up that whole story. It's crazy.
dude.
But no, this is some crazy like she's just out of her fucking mind.
I heard that 911 call multiple times before I realized what it was, because there's a metal song that I listen to that's instrumental, and it's that 911 call is playing in the background of it. And I was like, "What am I listening? Like, what is this?" I've been listening. I love this song, and then I looked up and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Okay, calm down, fucking Eddie, man. That's like the fucking bear, the fucking the fucking audio from Grizzly Man, where Werner Herzog like listens to the audio
And he's like, you
of
should
like the
destroy
bear
this.
killing the dude and his girlfriend, and he's like, you should destroy this. No one should ever listen to this. You need to destroy this. They don't actually play it in the documentary.
You watch
He
him
listens
listen
to it in the
yeah.
documentary, and they're like, you need to destroy this, is what he said. And I feel the same way about that 911 chimp call.
Awful.
They're like, yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, it is bad. It is bad.
That woman, by the way, it was her friend that gets
I know.
her face ripped off by the chimp. She later just buys another chimp. She swears off chimps, and then she's like, well, I need chimps in my life. Imagine being the friend who had your face ripped off, and then all of a sudden that same friend is getting another chimp. Nah, man. That's so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
We are really going on. Is it time to wrap up the show?
The problem is baby chimps are awesome, right? Everyone agrees a baby chimp, everyone wants one in their life. They just don't stay babies very long. And it's not like, oh, the dog is big now.
And
It's like, oh, this thing could kill.
This thing is now
just
very
like
dangerous.
Sneeze
Yeah.
and rip a person's limbs off. And it's they have stuff on that show where like chimps get a little too. It's a wild show though. It's not about how dangerous chimps are. It's about this woman who thinks she's smarter than PETA and that it's okay for a chimp to live in her basement in a cage. And
That sounds terrible.
the documentary's like, oh, what are we like supposed to do? Because this ain't cool, right? Like you see the conversations of the documentarians going like, I think we have to like say something. And they're like, nah, we're just going to like let it ride. And then like they get footage of her or audio of her saying like, the chimp's got health problems. We need to put him down. They're like, what are you doing? We gotta fucking say something now. This is crazy. Oh man, it's a disaster.
This took a dark turn.
Oh yeah, it's a very dark show. I mean, just like Tiger King was. Honestly, it's fucking.
Hell yeah.
It's
not
yeah.
just. It's horrible.
Well, on that chipper note, we're going to go ahead and call it a night here. So first of all, thank you everybody who tuned in to hang out and talk shop with us about video games on Twitch and YouTube and all that. Of course, if you're not in our Discord, we'd love to have you. Discord.gg/4Player. You can hang out there, follow along with our Fantasy Critic, talk about video games. If you do jump in, make sure you stop by the Introductions channel. Introduce yourself. Tell us what you've been playing. I always love to hear that. Yeah, we'd love to have you in there. We'll be back next week. Like I said earlier in the show, I think we're trying to figure out the details regarding our 2024 award show. We might try and mix things up a bit. But we'll keep y'all posted on that in Discord. So, in the meantime, guys, everybody... Oh, and, fucking hearts out to everybody in Los Angeles. Holy shit.
California.
Jesus Christ. It's terrifying. But yeah, if anybody out there is affected or knows anybody that's affected, that's awful. And I feel for you. So,
Yep, everyone's
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. We know some people in our community that live in the area, and luckily the ones that I've spoken to have said that they're not near, not super close to where that's happening, but, it's still not contained. So, fuck. Everybody be safe. That's all I'm trying to say is holy shit, be safe. But anyways, on that note, guys, we'll see you next week. Be good to each other, play video games, and good night.